Hello, everybody. It is me, Martinez-Bateman. I am the CEO of New Coyote Consulting. We are an equity and communications consulting firm here in the Pacific Northwest. It is the Monday update. Last week, I talked about how we rearranged our office so that me and my husband can work in the same office again, and that's just like bringing me a lot of life and helping me to do body doubling and get stuff done and get work done. And I am feeling a strange amount of energy just like around life right now, and part of that is I think very much about it being spring. I think the other part of it is me just having a really clear purpose, mission, understanding of what my job is right now, which is to ensure that the people who are resisting this wave of American fascism are as properly resourced as they possibly can be. And that mission has just really centered me and sort of like focused me in my work. I am having a really hard time sleeping. It is affecting my energy, my attitude, everything. I've so far managed to like deal with it without like giving up too much of my sort of like real life and the things I want to do, but I did end up sleeping basically all day on Saturday this weekend because I stayed up the entire night the night before. So I'm trying to do more to manage that kind of like nighttime stress. You know, I've been an insomniac my whole life, so it's pretty normal for me to just stop sleeping when I'm stressed out. I also, because of my lifelong insomnia, have a lot of different things that I could do or not do to help mitigate the harm of this bout of insomnia. And then I think as a person who's had lifelong insomnia, there are just times when you're just like, okay, this is how it is. It's just harder than normal. It's bigger than normal. That doesn't mean that it's, always going to be this way. It does mean that this is just something that is an obstacle to me being able to do what I want. So that's really what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on a lot of care for self around my insomnia, care for community around the sort of like new horrors that hit us every single day. I think I told y'all I've been giving away 1 free hour of coaching every week to any nonprofit staff. No questions asked. There's a link in my bio. Just if you are a nonprofit staff or you are working on a board of a nonprofit and you have need of coaching, you get 1 free hour. So sign up for me, sign up with me. Like, I've been really getting a lot out of those hours. I know other people have been. I feel really, really privileged and blessed that I can do this for my community. And then if a nonprofit needs more coaching, I cut my rates in half for coaching. Coaching used to be $800 a month and $400 a session. Now it's $400 a month and $200 a session. And qualified nonprofits, so that means that you have to have a certain budget. I usually do under $250,000, and you have to be sticking to a certain mission, so impact-driven missions for people who are experiencing the most harm. If you email me about having those qualifications met, I will take 50% off of the already reduced price, making monthly coaching $200 and a single session $100. So, link is in the bio. Or you can just email me or go to newcoyote.com and be like, how to get coaching? Please respond. A lot of us are just really experiencing a lot of brain drain. I think I know from studying fascism and from understanding, the sort of anti-communist and anti-anarchist movements throughout history, that this is the point. Fascism is doing this the fascist state is doing this shit, is ramping up the terror, is bragging about the horrific way they're treating people, is gleefully cackling at all of the unrest they've already caused. Like, they're doing that on purpose so that we feel exhausted, so that we feel drained, so that it's hard to think, so that we're not making the best decisions. That is the point. It is extremely important right now to get involved in local activism or some kind of thing that you can take your power back through. So figuring out how to get involved in an environment or in a space or in a way that gives you some modicum of affirmation for the fact that you still have power, you still have decision-making capabilities in your life, that is going to be essential going forward. We have to focus on what we can change. We have to focus on where we have leverage, where we have power. And just rolling over and, letting fascism take hold, complying in advance with these racist, classist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, etc. policies and expectations. That is not only signing the death warrant for the populations that you are failing to protect, it's signing your death warrant as well. Because the more you act like you can't do anything, the less you can actually do. This is psychological warfare. This is warfare on a citizenry. This is warfare on the inhabitants of a country. Warfare on cultures and marginalized groups. And this is not something that we're going to solve this week, today, tomorrow, in the next month, or even in the next several years. The reason we have this rise in fascism is because of years and years and years of planning and strategy on the part of the American right. We are not going to just throw this off in a couple of months. This is going to be a long fight. It's already been a long fight. It will continue to be a long fight. Please, do the labor that feeds you. Do the labor that when it is done, you feel more in control, more powerful, more energized, more able to continue the work. All right, have a lunch, have a walk, have a weekend. Don't work for free. I'll see you next week.